The Signmaker's Assistant. Our story title is The Signmaker's Assistant. Signed this way. The Signmaker Assistant. The author and illustrator is Ted Arnold. What genre is this story? Is it realistic fiction? Could it happen in real life? Is it fully made up? Is it informational? This is funny. It's humorous fiction. Everyone in town, they all agreed. The Signmaker, he did the finest work for miles around. Under his brush, ordinary letters became beautiful words. Words of wisdom, words of warning, or words that simply said which door to use. When he painted a sign, "Stop," people stopped. Because the sign, it looked so important. When he painted, "Please keep off the grass," they kept off. Because the sign looked polite and sensible. When he painted "Good food," they just naturally became hungry. People thanked the Signmaker. And they paid him well. But the kind old man never failed to say, "I couldn't have done it without Norman's help." Norman was the Signmaker's assistant. Each day after school, Norman would help cut the wood. He mixed colors. And he helped to paint simple signs. "Soon I will have a shop of my own," said Norman. "Perhaps," answered the Signmaker, "but not before you clean these brushes." One day, after his work was done, Norman stood at a window over the sign shop and he watched people. They stopped at the stop sign. They entered at the enter sign. They ate under the good food sign. They do whatever the signs say, said Norman to himself. I wonder, He crept into the shop while the sign maker napped. With a brush and a board, he painted a sign of his own. Let's see what the sign says. You see the sign? All those kids. The sign says, "No school today." And there's a woman standing there, scratching her head, looking at it. Early the next morning, he put up the sign. And then he ran back to his window to watch. "No school?" muttered the principal. "How could I forget such a thing?" The principal forgot? "No one informed me," said the teacher. "Hooray!" cheered the children, and everyone went home. "This is great!" cried Norman. He looked around town for another idea. "Oh," he said at last, "there's something I have always wanted to do." Do you guys see the picture? Do you guys see Norman and the sign that he made? That fountain right there? It says, "Yeah, go ahead, you can swim." Following day, Norman jumped from the top of the fountain in the park. As he swam, he thought to himself, "I can do lots of things with signs." Ideas filled his head. That afternoon, when Norman went to work, the sign maker, he said, "I must drive to the next town and paint a large sign on a storefront. I'll return tomorrow evening. So please, lock up the shop tonight." As soon as the sign maker was gone, Norman started making his signs. He painted for hours and hours and hours. The next morning, people discovered all the new signs around town. You see one sign that says the bank is closed. And then there's a sign on the trash can that says, put your money in there. Money? In a trash can? That's silly. And there's another sign that says, eat your hat. Ugh. I don't think I want to eat a hat. Ugh. The toy store, there's a sign in front of that that says, buy a gift for Norman. And the next you see the picture that has Norman, and he's looking down on the town on a giant pile of presents, because people actually followed it and bought him a present and gave him a bunch of gifts. Wow. Another sign, it says, stop for ant crossing. And then all the ants are actually crossing right there. You can see right next to it, there's the grocery store, but instead they put a sign in front that says garbage dump. Which means you see all the trash guys dumping all of the garbage there, right in front of the food store. Ugh, that's gross. Norman watched it all and laughed and laughed until tears came to his eyes. But soon he saw people becoming angry. The Signmaker's playing tricks, they shouted. He has made a fool of us. The teacher tore down the "No school today" sign. Suddenly, people were tearing down all the signs. Not just the new ones, but every sign the Signmaker had ever painted. That's when the real trouble started. Without store signs, shoppers became confused. Without stop signs, drivers didn't know when to stop. Without street signs, firemen became lost. In the evening, when the Signmaker returned from his work in the next town, he knew nothing of Norman's tricks. An angry crowd of people met him at the back door of his shop and chased him into the woods. As Norman watched, he suddenly realized that without the signs and without the Signmaker, the town, it was in danger. It's all my fault, cried Norman. But no one was listening. Signmaker saw the lights on in his shop, and Norman was feverishly painting. While the town slept, and the Signmaker watched, Norman put up stop signs shop signs, street signs, danger signs, welcome signs, in and out signs, large signs, small signs, new and beautiful signs. He returned all of his presents. He cleared away the garbage at the grocery store. It was early morning when he finished up putting up his last sign for the entire town to see. The last sign, it said, "Don't blame the Signmaker. I tricked you." And I'm sorry. Signed, Norman. Then Norman packed up his things, locked the shop, but as he turned to go, he discovered the Signmaker and all the townspeople had gathered at the door. "I know you're angry with me for what I did," said Norman with downcast eyes. "So, I'm leaving." "Oh, we were angry, all right," said the principal. "But we were also fools for obeying such signs without thinking." "You told us that you were sorry," the Signmaker said, "and you fixed your mistakes. So stay and work hard. One day, maybe this shop will be yours." "Perhaps," answered Norman, hugging the old man, "but not before I finish cleaning those brushes."